Now, appearing on every campaign page is your primary navigation found in your header and your footer. But more than navigation, your header and footer are essential to gain trust from your audience. If your header and footer look entirely different than your primary website, then your fundraisers and especially your donors may not trust the campaign's legitimacy. So, spend some time getting this right because it will save you time and also create a more seamless link between your website and your fundraising campaigns. And this in turn will elevate your brand and it will guide your audience to the right call to action.
Now first, open up your campaign, select Pages, and then select over to Header and Footer. Now you will see two rows, one at the top and one at the bottom. The top being your header and the bottom being your footer. Now let's start with the header. For most campaigns, this one is simple. It's just one row and one block, the header block. As you may be new to the page builder, a web page is made up of rows, columns, and blocks. And in the header's case, it's a row with a single column with the header block that's been added. Now there are two things that we can do. First, let's open up the header block settings. Your header can have two styles. It can either have filled, where the row sits on its own up top, or transparent, where the header will sit on the first row of each page, kind of like a transparency, but we're going to leave it for filled right now. The next one is your account menu, and that provides users a navigation menu for their fundraising used on all fundraiser campaigns, such as peer-to-peer or community hubs. Now, sometimes you may need a different logo asset than your default, so the header block provides this option, common when color accessibility may be an issue. Now, your logo width is typically 120, 150, or 180. And just notice we do work in increments of 30. It's just a really good habit when using the page builder. You can even add an alternative hyperlink for your logo as well, using the alternate link. You do have some advanced settings, but notice sticky mobile navigation, as this activates call to action buttons, such as donate, on the bottom of the mobile screens. Now, once you've updated this, just select Save. Now, by now you have noticed that there is nowhere to add or edit your navigation menu options. That's because these are found in your campaign settings under Menu. Here you can add, edit menu items, create hierarchies, and apply different styles to each. One more thing to consider is your row spacing and its width. Now, first select your row settings and hit the Advanced tab, where you can adjust your vertical spacing. At the moment, it's set to 0, but this spacing can typically work on increments of 30, such as 15 pixels, 30 pixels, or 60 pixels. 90 is probably a little bit too large for the header, but you can see where we're going. We'll leave it for now at 15. If you select Attributes, you can also enter preset tags that can adjust the width of your row. By default, each row has a maximum width of 1100 pixels, though you can expand this either through using row width large or row width full. The ideal is the default, but look at your existing website as a reference when deciding. Now onto the footer. This involves some basics in page building. So first, look at a reference, likely your organization's website. Look at its row and column structure. Say if it's 2 rows and 2 columns, then just write this down. Now, by the template's default, your footer will be quite simple. Now, in this module's task, we'll take you through building a new footer that replicates one from another website. But for now, though, there are some simple updates that we can make. Let's work on the row. Open the row settings. And here we're going to change the background color to something maybe just a little bit darker in our palette. Primary darkest. Perfect. We're also going to change the text color. Now the text color we're going to turn to white. And this will apply itself to all the paragraph text that we do put in. Now I'm also going to add some vertical spacing to the row under Advanced, Spacing, and I'll increase this to 60. Gives me a little bit more space. Now, there is another update we do want to make, and that is to our logo. As you can see here, if we open up this block, we're using the campaign logo block, which means that this image will default to what we put as the logo. But we actually want a different logo here, one that's lighter. So let's just hop out of these settings. Let's add a new block. We'll select the image block, or you can search image in the title. Let's place it above the other one. Let's select a new logo, open the block settings. We'll change the width down to 180. And we're going to change its alignment to left. Now that's looking better. Only thing we need to do now is remove the other one. Wonderful. That's looking really, really good. Why don't we save our changes?
Now that the header and footer are complete, we can move on to our next module, focusing in on the page builder and creating your first landing page in the campaign. Don't forget to complete the task before moving on and check out the helpers to go deeper.